Hey guys, what is up, and welcome today to How Good is Spider Gwen? It's a bit of a Spider-Man themed day today. We just looked at Venom, and now we're on to Spider Gwen, who is a bit of an average champion. Like, she ain't good, but I believe she still has a place. Especially, I kind of think places in Alliance War defense teams, maybe when you don't have the optimal setup. And I'm going to explain why she's such a good and decent option for that role. So let's get right into her abilities. So Spider Gwen, I always like to kind of describe as a hybrid between Iron Fist and Ant-Man, but she's kind of a bit worse than both, right? So let me kind of explain why. So Spider Gwen has two stances. She has Hunter Spider mode and also Trap Spider mode. So when she's in Hunter Spider mode, her attacks have a 16% chance to apply, wait for this, a 4% armor break, which made this champion before willpower nerf really terrible to play in Hunter Spider mode, especially in Arena and Alliance War. However, now that willpower's been taken off the table a bit, it's okay. Like, it's kind of like a break even when she applies armor. 4% is so weak. Like, they really need to up this armor break a little bit more to make the champion viable, especially because she doesn't really stack that many in a row. One every, 5 combo hits, you're kind of, on average, going to get one armor break, only lasts 7 seconds, so usually you're going to have maybe 1 or 2 of these, and it's, not a lot of armor to break. Now let's move on to Trap Spider mode. So Trap Spider mode is kind of the Ant-Man mode. I like to describe the other one as the Iron Fist mode. So while she's charging her heavy attack, she ignores the first attack against her and gains 1 charge of precision, which increases her critical hit rate by 21% for her next attack. So this is, a good thing to have as a defender, because as like playing as an AIs quite frequently use their heavy attacks, and this kind of adds a little bit of a perk for using that. Again, another reason why she's a good option for AI defense. But when you're kind of playing on the offensive and you're actually playing this champion, yeah, you're never going to have to worry about that. Like, it really doesn't matter. So, special attack 1 is basically, she just kind of does like a backflip, and she switches between the stance and grants the champion 22% evade for almost, 8.5 seconds. Again, this is not very useful when you're on the attack, but if you're playing as an AI and it's defense, then a champion that is regularly evading is going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. So yeah, again, another big point, which makes her a pretty good option for Alliance War defense. Again, like, that's so useless when you're on the aggressive. So the special attack 2, this is kind of where her stance is kind of start mattering a bit more, because they do different stuff. So if she's in Hunter Spider mode, your special attack 2 is most likely going to stun the enemy. If you are in Trap Spider mode, which I like to consider the Ant-Man one, she has a 75% chance to fatigue the opponent, lowering their critical hit rate by 33% for 15 seconds. Again, that's quite good as a defensive trait, but when you're on the offense, completely rubbish. And then finally, oh, sorry, we closed that there. Let's go down to the special 3. Again, pretty much the exact same abilities. So usually when she is in defense, her special attack, 99%, I'd probably say about 80% of the time when you're fighting her, she's constantly just going to be spamming her level 1 and doing those like crazy backflip evade stuff. So it just makes it a bit of a kind of pain in the ass champion to deal with. But yeah, I would say this champion, comparatively to Spider-Man, who naturally has the evade and can use his specials for damage, is worse. I'd say out of all the Spider-Men, Spider-Gwen is probably, unfortunately, the worst Spider-Man or woman that you can pull. But, just made this video to essentially demonstrate that I believe she does have a place in Alliance War defense. And if you have all the Spider-Man that can evade, you are going to have a really annoying team to deal with, which is very good for your standings in Alliance War defense. The kind of main thing you want is stuff that's going to throw the opponent off, is going to make them, go, oh, and then like mess up their combo and maybe take 5 hits, so that, they're always taking damage, or have champions like Electro, where they're taking, damage for beating up that champion, or on certain nodes, champions that utilize this one. But Spider Gwen's just a champion that works quite well on any node, as she is very, very annoying to fight, as she's going to be, having pretty much 22% chance to evade for the majority of the fight. Let's talk now, just very quickly, about her signature ability. So, while in Hunter Spider mode, Gwen's critical hits have a certain percentage chance, I believe it goes up to 50, to deal double damage, and while in Trap Spider mode, Gwen's critical hits have a chance to weaken the foes, lowering their attack by 20% for 7 seconds. So you kind of see, why I kind of akin these two stances, Hunter to Iron Fist, because it's very, a bit more damage output and you're applying armor breaks, and the other one to Ant-Man because you're doing all these weakened debuffs and, increasing your chance to survive. So yeah, those are kind of good. The Hunter Spider mode one before Willpower nerf kind of made it viable-ish. You get arena fights done in Hunter Spider mode. Now it's pretty good, you're just going to be dealing more and more damage, and while in Trap Spider mode, again, good for a defensive champion. One of the slightly redeeming qualities about Spider Gwen is she does synergize really, really well with champions like Rhino, Daredevil, Spider-Man, and Punisher. All pretty good perks in terms of synergy. The increased crit rate is pretty much the best synergy perk you can have, as although it plus 25 crit damage seems like, whoa, that sounds crazy. It actually isn't that much. It's based on an additional multiplier instead of times, plus 25% to all your crits. It works in a really, really odd way. So in reality, it's only 5 to 10% more crit damage. It's a little bit weird. Also, just quickly, while we're on the topic, her health and attack really aren't that great. They're kind of just below average in comparison to Venom that we just looked at, who had about 9k and also about 760 attack. She is weaker, so that's not too great. Her PI is fairly decent though, which makes her a good champion to have, and also get up to 330 for the increased prestige. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for Spider Gwen. I hope you learned a bit more about this kind of mediocre champion. I think she's alright. She does have a place in Alliance War defense. If you like the video and want to see more champion reviews or have any requests, feel free to smash that like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate subscriptions. We are skyrocketing. Got almost 2k subs in the last month, which is pretty good. I can appreciate that. Anyway, if you do have any requests for champions that you'd like to see, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Apart from that, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.